This is the iPhone 16 Pro inside the Peak Design Everyday Loop case. This is my second time buying this case. I previously had the non-loop version for my iPhone 14 Pro. Now today, I want to talk about some specific thoughts about the iPhone 16 version, but I also want to review the case in a way that's useful to folks who have any of the compatible phones. So whether you're an iPhone user, or if you're a Samsung Galaxy owner, or a Pixel owner, don't fret, this isn't going to be just an iPhone-specific conversation outside of one limited section. So let's jump in. Starting with an overview of the case, the core body is made of polycarbonate. It has rubberized TPU bumpers around the outside and a recycled nylon shell across the back. The materials feel great. I've really grown to love the feel of the nylon, as it's held up way better than I ever imagined that it would, specifically from my iPhone 14, which I had for multiple years. Any scuffs and scratches that occur are all pretty much just buffed right out easily. My only complaint with it is that it can become a little bit of a fur magnet if you've got a pet. I have a cat, his little orange fur loves to cling to the case. If you're not into the nylon, there is a new option for Clarino vegan leather. I can't speak personally to that durability, but that should be a little bit less of a fur magnet than the nylon. There are a few different colors of the everyday case outside of this standard charcoal color. The colors vary a bit by phone model, but for the iPhone 16 Pro, as an example, there is a red nylon called Eclipse and a green one called Sage. And then in the Clarino material, they have black, tan, and bone. These cases are MagSafe compatible and include MagSafe-like magnets on both the Apple versions and the Android models. These magnets are part of Peak Design's broader Slimlink system, which pairs these cases with a whole slew of mobile accessories, which is freaking awesome. The Slimlink system has been around for a few years now and has evolved over time. Originally, the cases featured 4 corner magnets, which you can see on my older iPhone 14 case. Newer products have adopted the magnetic ring that was initially popularized in Apple's MagSafe system, but now has become the actual standard in the magnetic power profile, or MPP, which is part of the new Qi2 wireless charging standard. In addition to magnets, the Slimlink system also has a built-in physical mounting system at the center of the case for when you need a bit more mounting strength. I love the Slimlink system for a few different reasons. First, I've been daily driving this, the mobile stand wallet, for multiple years now. It's been absolutely incredible. It opens up like a stand, it's held on with magnets, and you can get to your cards super easily. This is a product that gets compliments and comments and questions all the time. I am constantly telling people about this, and they always want to learn more about it. If you want to learn more about the wallet specifically, you can check out my dedicated review on the wallet that's linked below. More recently, I picked up the Qi2 version of Peak Design's desk charger, which I've also absolutely fallen in love with. This too allows you to magnet your phone and remove it super easily. So you can attach it, it's super strong magnets, and then with one hand, you can easily pop it off just like that. I also did a full dedicated review of this product, which I will link down below as well. But okay, I hear you. These are both just simple MagSafe accessories that happen to look cool together with the common thread of the Peak Design theming. But what's the magic to Slimlink beyond just MagSafe magnets? Now that is where this comes in. This is the Peak Design out front bike mount. As you can tell, it's not yet actually attached to my bike, but yeah, it'll go on there soon. So up until this point, all of the examples we gave were soft locks, where the phone case and the accessory are simply being held together by magnets. But for more intense applications, accessories use the built-in physical mounting system that I mentioned before. Plus, it uses magnets to create an incredibly strong hold. It grabs on first with the magnets to help align it, and then you can hear it clicks in and hard locks on, creating a mechanical mounting point. This thing is not going anywhere. When you're done, there's 2 buttons on the back to release that mechanical hold, and you can pull your phone off super easily and go on your way. Slimlink is a true differentiator that helps justify the pricing around the everyday case. If you do activities like biking, motorcycling, or anything else where you want your phone visible but need to ensure that it doesn't come free, this thing is a game changer. If you don't do anything intense, don't worry, neither do I. I just want this bike mount so that I can have my phone visible on the way to the local brewery. But I'm so impressed by the elegant design of the wallet, the charger, and the case itself that it's fully justified for me as well. All right, moving on to the iPhone 16 specifically. There is one new feature on this phone that you might be concerned about if you have one, and that's the camera control button. Since this new control is more than just a regular button, it's basically a mini little trackpad on the side of your phone, it's important that you can access it properly so that you can get full use out of this cool new button. Overall, I would say with this case on there, it's slightly harder to use the button than it would be otherwise. You have to be a bit more precise with your press, especially when you're doing the light presses needed to navigate the menus. However, I think that's pretty much likely on any case, so I think that they're probably about as good as you're gonna get. I'm not sure that they could have done a whole lot more. Now, using the button as a shutter button works perfectly fine, and also swiping back and forth on it is not a problem as well. It's really just those soft presses that are a little bit challenging because of the plastic surrounding the button. If you're curious about what the heck this button actually does, I also made a full guide walking through all of the features for this new button, so I'll link that in the video description as well in case you're curious. Now let's talk about the strap. The loop strap is a $10 add-on to the everyday case, only available in the nylon version. It sits directly beneath that mounting mechanism and is designed for use with either your middle finger or your ring finger to hold onto your phone easily as you use it. It's a useful feature in theory, kind of like a pop socket, but one that folds down neatly out of the way when you're not using it. However, I'm personally not a fan for a few different reasons. First, I think it's a bit too low to be truly useful. To me, using the middle finger feels like the most natural, as it gives your index and ring finger the chance to support it as it inevitably wants to spin away in one direction or the other. Using the middle finger, though, results in your hand being a bit too low, and I can't then reach to the top of my phone with my thumb. Using your ring finger instead aligns your hand better and allows me to reach up to the top of the phone as well as the bottom, but then it's going to rely a lot on my pinky in order to support the phone and prevent it from turning and spinning in my hand, which is not exactly the easiest or most stable thing to do. The next problem is that since the loop folds down, it also has a small little magnet inside to keep it snug against the phone. It's a little bit tricky to then pull it open for use. There's video footage out there of Peak Design one-handedly kind of pulling it open and getting their finger in there, and I can kind of do it if I try really hard and wedge a finger under there, but it is not a graceful thing. If you really want to do it, you pretty much need to have a second hand in order to actually put it in place and lift it up. Now, personally, I consider myself fairly coordinated. I've got pretty good fine motor skills with my hands and fingers, but I cannot reliably do it with one hand. So unless you're able to do some magic wizardry with your fingers to get it in there, it takes two hands to operate, which is fine, but it's also not the most useful because if you've got to secure your phone and you got one hand, you'd ideally like to be able to just pick it up and not need to get it all set up beforehand. The biggest issue, though, is not actually about using the loop strap at all. It's about what it does to the magnets on the back of the phone. As I mentioned, the everyday loop case originally featured 4 corner magnets. Now it uses a circular magnet that's similar to MagSafe. Well, when you add a loop strap like this and you have a 4 corner magnet set up, that means that with or without the strap, you've got the same magnetic ability. On a circle, though, adding a strap means taking away some of the magnets. Taking away magnets means decreasing the hold on important accessories like the stand wallet. So, as you can see, If I use my stand wallet on the new case, it doesn't work as well. If I grab from the bottom, it winds up pulling off. Now, I really have to pinch and actually separate it first before stretching it out in order for it to stay on. By contrast, if we look at the iPhone 14 that has those 4 corner magnets, if I do the exact same thing and just pull up at the back, it opens every single time. And so this is a major downgrade for me personally, and one that's a little bit tough when you're thinking about strap versus no strap. Now, one quick disclaimer, this wallet is multiple years old, so the magnetic pattern on the back matches the older case with the 4 corner magnets. It's totally possible that the newer wallets have a matching round pattern, and it might actually solve the issue that I'm running into. However, the whole idea of these products being built for a lifetime is that I shouldn't need to get a new wallet to go with my new case. The whole idea is that I could keep using this and avoid having to waste it. Now, disclaimer number 2, and in Peak Design's defense specifically, is that the round magnets are now part of the Qi2 standard that everyone is going to adopt, so it shouldn't really change again. I'm actually not 100% sure if they were even allowed to use the round magnets originally, because I think they might have been a patented design by Apple that then became the Qi2 standard. So if you're just getting into the ecosystem now, you probably won't have to deal with these issues going forward, but I felt that they were important to call out if you've got an existing product or if you are considering mixing and matching some things. Moral of the story, magnet patterns matter. And if you're concerned about magnetic hold, then maybe stick to the non-strap version just to be safe. Now that we've covered the specific issues arising from the strap version, let's touch on 2 other very small issues that I have with the case. The first one has to do with the bezels. The bezels measure 3.4 millimeters around the top and the sides, but 5.6 millimeters at the bottom. The reason for this is that the case supports adding a strap or a lanyard to the bottom of the case. As a result, it needs additional material at the bottom to allow there to be a gap that this strap can attach onto, which makes total sense. However, when you're not using this, it just looks like you've got a more chunky bottom, which stands out compared to the rest of the case and is not the best thing to look at. Now, the second item is the buttons. Somewhere between my iPhone 14 case and my iPhone 16 case, the buttons on the Peak Design cases were redesigned. The result is that the new case buttons are significantly easier to press, almost too easy to press. The result is that I've had multiple occasions where the volume buttons on my phone have been pressed accidentally in my pocket, something that I don't remember ever happening on my previous case. Now, one time it just resulted in my music going down to 0, not that big a deal. However, the other time, it resulted in my music getting maxed out, requiring me to eject the headphones out of my ears as quickly as possible, as it felt like it was going to blow my eardrums. Now, the buttons on the phone itself don't appear to have changed, so something in the new button design on the case is to blame for it being easier to press. It's not a complete deal breaker for me, but it's definitely something to be aware of for sure. In reading reviews on the Peak Design website, some people were saying that they were able to remove part of the back of the buttons from inside the case, and that was remedying it. I didn't try that myself, but it's another thing that you can try if you're running into the problem. Despite these issues, I still love the Peak Design case, and I highly recommend it, along with all of the Slimlink accessories. You can purchase the everyday case for $50 and the everyday loop case with a strap for $60. The non-loop version is available in the Clarino vegan leather material for $60 as well. If you decide you want to jump into this ecosystem, I'd highly recommend using the bundle option on Peak Design's website. It allows you to get the case and some accessories and save in the process. If you decide to get one of these awesome cases, you can use one of the affiliate links down in the video description to help support the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.